having a little fun on the other side of the ball, getting to carry the ball a little bit and whatnot.
Can you talk about what went into that? I mean, is it something they approached you with? Is it something you saw a need and thought maybe you could help out there?
Actually, during the spring, they approached me, and defense coaches wouldn't let it happen during the spring. And then come fall camp, they actually let it happen, and I was okay with it. Coach Dawson approached me and asked me if I was okay with it. And, yeah.
Why wouldn't they let it happen in the spring? What was the difference there, and who was barring your move?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. I think it just has something to do with we were lacking depth during the spring at linebacker and whatnot. So.
Played fullback before?
I did in the Wildcat in high school.
So anything from those days that you can fall back on now when you're learning in
a little
new
bit
position?
Yeah. I played tight end in middle school as well, so that kind of helps. And I mean, that's a while back though.
Same body type, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes.
How different is it for you, blocking guys now as opposed to getting after them?
They say I'm getting way too much extension, which means, like, in defense, you want extension. And in offense, you got to keep them close, which I'm not really used to yet, and we're going to work on that.
How do you think the transition is coming along so far?
It's coming along well. I feel more comfortable than I did 4 days ago.
Is there someone out there, one of the veteran guys, who's been trying to bring you along?
Yeah, Cody Clay, he helps me out a lot. I stand right by his side every practice. I learn from what he does, and I learn from my coach as well, Tyler Urban. So,
Can you learn anything from even Elijah Wellman, a guy who obviously just out of high school, but he did it in high school as well?
Yeah, and I also help him on a few things. So, I mean, he's been in it for a week and a half now. I've only been in it for 4 days. So those 4 or 5 days that he has with me helps out a lot.
What have you seen from him so far? I mean, Dana seems to say good things about Elijah.
Yeah, he's he'll come down and hit people, and I think that will help us a lot this year and whatnot off the edge and in the power and whatnot.
What do you see the role of the fullback being in the offense this year with how many running backs there are back there who seem capable of getting the ball in their hands and making a play?
Hopefully just a good lead blocker. We really we got to toughen up and whatnot. So.
You bounced around a couple times. You kind of happy, hoping you can settle in here?
Right, yeah. I've actually played all 4 linebackers, and my mind was all over the place. And now just being fullback tight end, it's a lot easier to just focus on one job and just take advantage of it.
Have they talked about using you like they've used Cody, fullback, tight end,
Yes.
inside receiver too? I mean, are you going to have to learn that as well?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a lot on your plate. What's been? It's not just switching over. You're switching over and learning 3 different spots. How's that transition?
It's just one step at a time. They taught me inside zone, then they taught me outside zone, then they taught me power. And now they're teaching it from a fullback spot, and then they're going to teach me the rest of the stuff from slot receiver next week. So whenever we start getting into that, it might be a little more on my plate, but right now I'm just focused on fullback and tight end.
And you've gotten to carry the ball a few times, you said?
Yeah, a couple times, not many though.
Okay. So what's that like? I mean, having the ball in your hands and having other people trying to rip it out?
It's definitely a little different. Hopefully I'll figure out how to hold on to it and whatnot and roll with defenders and whatnot. So.
Earlier in camp, Shaq said that the whole defense has this mentality of being nasty and stuff. He said on offense, you don't really have that. I remember in spring you said when you get out there on game day, you want to kill people. What's the difference in mentality between defense and now what you're doing on offense? Anything at all?
No, not really. I actually kind of want to bring that mentality to the offense. Just kind of, go after people this year, and especially on the front line with our offensive linemen and tight end, fullback, whatnot.